You manage the water project portfolio. Can you first tell us a little bit about COSIA, and then your role and your stream in the organization?
Yeah, so COSIA is an alliance of 9 oil sands producers that represent about 90% of the oil sands production. Members, I might also mention the members. They're BP, Canadian Natural, Cenovus, ConocoPhillips, Imperial Oil, Husky, Suncor Syncrude, and Teck. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Pretty sure I
We're
got all
we're,
of them.
we're
And
close.
yeah, okay. And so, excuse me. So COSIA was formed in 2012 with the express purpose of enabling sustainable development of the oil sands by accelerating the pace of environmental performance improvement through collaborative action and innovation. And so, and the way it works, and I love this anecdote. I like to tell it every time I can. One of the key differences between COSIA and other industry associations is members grant each other use rights to technology. So the whole idea behind COSIA is that if one member's developed a technology or they all do it together, it doesn't matter. They all get access to use that technology in their own facilities. And so in the early days of COSIA, this would have been in probably late 2011 or early 2012, we had a group of our member company lawyers, and they were asked how long it would take to produce an agreement that would allow all of these members to share technology, to grant use rights to each other. And the lawyer's answer was anywhere from 2 years to never. That was the answer.
That's the
and
range.
and that was arranged, and it actually took 4 months to write the first joint venture agreement, the one that I look after. That's the water joint venture agreement. So these things run up, they're over 100 pages, and part of the reason for that is they are literally granting each other use rights. So they keep ownership of the technology, but they grant all of the other members use rights to those technologies. So that's very different as well. So.
Oh, so it's a little, yeah, it's a little bit like a company laying the fiber optics and other companies get to plug into that system in a way, right?
Yeah, for sure, something like that. But the 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 analogy would be they're all laying fiber optic cables, and they grant
Right.
everybody access to all of it. So yeah.
I want to, not to put too fine a pin on it, but why do you think was it the approach that your organization, you and the organization took, or was there a specific reason that it was expedited so quickly from 2.5 years to never instead of and it was ended up being 4 months? Was there something that you saw that the reason why it was expedited at that rate?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the CEOs of our member companies realized, there are a few iconic environmental incidents, that the ducks on tailings pond, things like that, that
Mm.
made the CEOs realize that they're all in this boat together, and if they don't all improve together, the industry is going to struggle with its social license. And so I think they realize that, at least on the environmental front, it's in all of their collective best interests to set aside their competitive nature and collaborate and cooperate on the environmental front, because if there's an environmental incident, one operator, it doesn't matter who that operator is, the oil sands is painted with that same brush. And so that the driving force and the reason that joint venture agreement only took 4 months is I think the CEOs went to the VP legal and said, we'd really like you to get this done for us, please. And so they did. And so I think the big difference, because it might have taken anywhere from 2 years to never, the big difference is the CEO said they wanted to happen. And so we
Mm.
had support right from the top of our member companies.